Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to this channel, I'm Grace Ronke Adigoke. Today I'm making kombucha. Kombucha, for those who are not familiar with it, is a probiotic drink, a 30 fermented probiotic drink, basically fermented tea. Okay, so I'm going to get on and start. First and foremost, you need tea to make this drink, because it's about the tea and the antioxidant in the tea that needs to feed the Scooby. So let's get started. Tea bags. I have 4 tea bags. I usually just use organic tea bags. And also boiled water. If you want to start this small, like a small quantity, like what I have in this jar, you can scale it down to 25%, 1/4 of the quantity I'm going to use today. Because I'm going to brew into this big jar a continuous brew. A continuous brew is when you brew on a weekly basis or twice weekly or every so often, and you get what you want out the tap and you carry on brewing at the same time as drinking. Okay, so basically I have 4 cups of filtered water. Make sure it's filtered to remove all impurities. Scooby is the organism that we need to digest all the ingredients here and ferment the product and give us the probiotic that we want. You know, when you talk about the good gut bacteria, that's what we're talking about in probiotics. Okay, so I have 2 cups of boiled water and 2 of cold, so I can mix this liquid and make sure it's not too hot, because Scooby is the organism that we're putting in this tea and it doesn't like the heat. It's like a yeast. When you are making a dough, you know your water has to be cold and not hot at all. Okay, so it's the same thing with Scooby. Scooby is a synonym for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. So they are the species that help digest the tea and the next ingredient, which I'm going to add in a minute. So I have a cup here, 250 ml, that's 1 cup. And this is my organic sugar storage. So I have 1 cup of sugar into the 4 cups of filtered water. You can boil all the 4 cups, let it cool down, put it in your glass bowl and add your tea and your sugar and let it mix and the sugar dissolve nicely. So the essence of the sugar and the tea is to feed the Scooby. The Scooby also needs feeding, like a living organism. Basically, we all need sugar for energy, to do what we need to do in forms of carbohydrates, your protein, your fats and oil, all of those calories for energy. So what's in here is going to feed the Scooby. The antioxidants, we got plenty in the tea, and the glucose in the sugar. So when the fermentation is already taking place, what you will have left, trust me, is sugar-free drink in here. Okay, and lots of the antioxidants from your tea. Okay, so we've added the cup of sugar, 4 tea bags, and 4 cups of filtered water. So you have a taste. It's nice. It's barely warm, barely, less, more or less like a body temperature. Keep it that way or even below. Or you can let it cool down completely and it's not even warm at all. whichever way, that's fine. So the next ingredient you need in brewing this probiotics successfully is either vinegar, okay, especially the one with the mother. That's raw. Make sure it's raw, unpasteurized, and with the mother. Or you can buy a shop-bought kombucha itself, and that's your liquid that you put together to brew, finish off this process. And also, if you are already brewing kombucha, you can just take the liquid from your last batch and use it, for this. And of course, last time I brewed this kombucha in this jar, this is something I've done in the past, growing the Scooby myself. So over the past 3-4 weeks, I started this new batch without a Scooby. It's just the mother from the bottle, or even from your apple cider vinegar. So you basically start growing a, I don't know if you can see it in this jar. Can you see it floating around, that clear transparent circle that is moving around? Okay, so if you don't have your own, you can always ask somebody in the community. You can ask me, somebody on YouTube, if they have a Scooby they can spare you. A friend of mine in a shop, health food shop that I used to go, that I go to, she gave me this little baby in here. Because I've been brewing kombucha for many years, and I was in bed for a lot of years as well, so I couldn't tend to my kombucha. I put them in my compost, basically because they were quite a lot. I didn't want to just keep them. I know I can always start over, and this is it. Okay, this is me starting over. And if you've had your challenges, you can also start over. So this is a piece of Scooby that she gave me from her own collection. And I have also got my Scooby in here. Okay, so that is my brand new Scooby that I grew from start. And everything is organic to that. So that Scooby is organic as well. Now, the next thing we got to do, now that the tea is being mixed and is also sugar is dissolved, more or less, it doesn't take long to dissolve sugar. So what I'm going to do is, okay, there. So the starter liquid, I'm going to use 1 cup of the starter liquid. Now, something else that I need to mention before I carry on is, in kombucha, you have to make sure everything is either glass or real stainless steel. No cheap metals, please. In fact, if you have rings in your hand and you want to handle big Scooby from the jar, you've got to take your ring out. Scoobies don't like metals. Okay, that's something that I need to mention. So I'm going to use approximately 1 cup of this shop pot kombucha. It's plain. I'm using the plain one, and I'm also going to use some of mine. Now my Scooby is popping out. It's coming out. Let me see if I can either use my hand or a couple of plastic tongs. Okay, no plastic tongs here, and I don't want to use the metal tongue because it's quite soft and slippery, more or less. It's almost wanting to fall off, when you pick it. However, wash your hands. If you use detergent, you have to make sure that you rinse them properly, because again, Scooby don't like detergents. They don't like chemicals, basically. So this is my new baby Scooby. Look at that. Look at that. It's looking healthy and gorgeous in here. So I'm just going to add some of my liquid from here. My starter liquid there. Okay. And just put this in gently, but before I put it in, I'm going to pour the tea in. Okay, and putting the tea in there. And the smell is gorgeous, like the smell of fermenting dough. That's what you get. So you gently lower in this Scooby into the jar. That's it. And this Scooby, at each fermentation, we have a baby. And the baby will have a baby, and the baby will have a baby, and the Scooby will become a grandma, and a great-grandma, and a great-great-great-great-granny. Yes! Good news in the Scooby land. They have to have many rooms. Okay, so, and that's what you get. And your Scooby will take the shape of the jar. If your jar is round, your Scooby will be round. If it's square, will be square. Oh, square. Oh, yeah, square, round, rectangle. Even if it's heart shape, maybe you should try that. Maybe we should try that, a heart shape Scooby. Well, never know. I might just try that. Okay, so I'll put that in. And I'm going to put a lid on this. And something else that is important is instead of putting this lid, now we're going to put a breathable muslin cloth, like a cheesecloth, on top of the kombucha. You can use it like this or fold it over, as long as the Scooby is able to breathe. Okay, to complete the process, you can put a rubber band to hold it together, or just tie a nice little rope around it and give it a nice feature. You can do that as well. Okay, so and also something else you can do is have a sprayer bottle with apple cider vinegar in water and spray on top of here. You know, the apple cider vinegar is tarty and it's not sweet at all, or hot kombucha that is very, very tarty and strong. Mix it with some water, spray it on top so you don't have fruit flies parading because of the sugar, especially at the start of the brewing of this process. So what you need to do is keep kombucha in a nice warm place, not in the sun, but in a nice warm corner of your kitchen, your pantry, your storeroom, wherever is hot. Basically, kombucha thrives in the heat, so you need the heat to help it to ferment. In the same way as you put a tropical fruit like a watermelon or pineapple on the counter, and if it's hot in that room, you begin to smell the fermentation. The same thing happens because of the fructose, the sugar in there, and the sugar in here helps with the process. So heat is a very, very important factor. In fact, if you want to carry on brewing kombucha in the cold, in the winter months, in cold countries, you might have to put a heat mat underneath. Set it down so it's nice and warm. So this is the end of the process today. I hope you have enjoyed this process, and if you want to do your own, either in a big jar or in a small jar, I'm going to brew another one in a small jar with the baby kombucha given me by my friend in the health food store. Okay, so and my family can now enjoy probiotic ad lib, liberally. That's what that means, ad lib. Okay, anyway, and that means their gut health will be looked after. If you also want to start giving kombucha to your family, you know, or even kefir, pickles, any fermented product helps your gut health to be balanced. And nowadays we need probiotics more than ever because of the lifestyle we live, the advent of refrigeration over the years. Nobody lets anything ferment, and without fermentation you can be guaranteed you don't have enough probiotics in the product. And that's why, pickled vegetables, kimchi, sauerkrauts, and things like that, they give you more probiotic, than when they are not fermented. So let's step it up. Drink this, drink any other probiotic liquid, or take them in form of capsule. Either way, you and I need probiotics, because nobody's letting anything ferment. The fridge, the freezer, we're keeping everything safe and sterile, and no fermentation is taking place. So I hope you find this useful, guys. Leave your comment down below and let me know if you have any issues while you're making it. Just ask the question. Sometimes you can also experiment and see what you come up with, and share that experience with us as well. I'm sure some of my subscribers, friends and fans and family want to know what you're doing with your kombucha brewing. And also, this is stage 1, first fermentation, and there is also second fermentation. And second fermentation is, I'm going to be demonstrating that after this one. When this is fermented, I'll show you. But second fermentation is when you put flavor in the kombucha and you let it ferment again. So, and the list is endless. You can have any flavor that you like. So thank you guys for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a lovely day. Whatever you do, make it count, and look after yourselves. Take care. Bye. Bye. So I'm just going to move this out of the way and put it somewhere where it can do its own thing. That's a nice warm part of this kitchen, and that should be fine for my new kombucha.